Welcome back, episode 6. Thank you for the love and support you guys shown on episode 5, LinkedIn Olympics. We appreciate all the love and support you're showing on our TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and all the platforms that you can listen to this podcast on. So today, episode 6, what should I study? Degrees, regrets, and reality. Let's get straight into it.
Yep, good to be back. To this week, we're going to start off a little bit different. We're going to start off with a cyber word of the week. This is some feedback that we've got. Obviously, we're cyber professionals, so we want to be putting our community onto game. So what is the cyber word of the week this week, aren't we?
Phishing.
And what is phishing?
It's basically when someone tricks you into giving info, like a scam email pretending to be your bank. It's catfishing, but for your passwords.
So why is it given that name, do you think? It's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, wow. You got me there. You got me there. I don't know. Why do you think that it's got the name that it's got?
Fishing for information, maybe? I don't know. But
Deeper.
if we were to dumb it down for the audience, phishing can affect anybody. It can affect large organizations. It can affect, I think, a normal sort of circumstance that we hear is like elderly people are quite targeted. So they'll get targeted by offshore criminals saying that their bank account has been accessed or et cetera, et cetera. And this is what we in the cyber field would describe as a phishing attack. So pay attention, keep out to, if you receive any dodgy links or dodgy text messages, just don't click on anything and report it as quickly as possible.
100%. Yeah, I second that. Exactly that. If I could add to that, it would be spread awareness as well. Speak to other people about this. So the more that we're all abreast of what it is, we can all work to prevent it. So yeah, that's my take. So we'll get straight into it. And again, we go back to degrees, regrets, and realities. So our first one, if we could restart at 18, would you do it? Would you pick the same degree again?
It's a bit of a, we don't really get this chance to reflect that often, but at 18, I was that sort of COVID generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the decision that most of my peers were sort of hop in between was whether to go to university or not go to university. So I opted to go to university.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose one of the biological sciences, biomedical science.
Okay.
Even though I never thought that I'd go into a field like that. But for me, it was just the fact of getting to university and just taking that next step.
So would you say you were going through a guessing phase of what you think you want to do, and hence you chose that?
Yeah, and I just wanted to carry on taking steps forward. I thought that if I didn't go to university or took a gap year, this, that and the other, I would be sort of playing with my future and gambling with my future a little bit. Mm-hmm. So if I could restart at 18, I would go to university, choose the same degree. Well, same degree is a bit of a techie one because biomedical science has not helped in the slightest. I mean, yeah, I would say it hasn't helped in the slightest, but other people might say that it's giving you soft skills or learn how to write reports and this, that, and the essays that you have to do at university. But I would still go to university, but I wouldn't choose the same degree. I think that's my answer. What about yourself? Because you came from a slightly different background, didn't you?
Yes. So I actually went to university as a mature student. So I was slightly older than the other attendees. I studied cybersecurity and digital forensics. I would pick the same degree again. I guess being a mature student, I knew what it is that I wanted to do, and I'm actually doing what I studied. So yeah, if I could restart at 18 again, I'd definitely go the same route.
And how did you choose cybersecurity with the specialty in forensics? Is that some research that you did before? Because that's quite a niche degree, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So prior to attending university, I was a networking engineer. So I was already going through that discipline, and just naturally the next step is cybersecurity. So hence why I'm here today, and I've gone that route. But if I can shed more light, when I started my career, having started the apprenticeship route at 16, I did not know about cybersecurity. It was a thing, but it wasn't mainstream as it is now. So I don't think I would have had that foresight at 18. But I guess when you go through the apprenticeship route, there's certain pathways you can go. And now, in hindsight, I'm now seeing that you can get into cybersecurity earlier and without having to go to university. So maybe not, but I just feel university is where I wanted to go. It's enriched certain skills that I didn't know that I had. And a different level of confidence and attacking education a different way.
Do you think potentially, sorry to interrupt, do you think was any sort of slight pressure to go to university? Because you already chose the apprenticeship route, and you, like you explained, you went to university as a mature student. Was there sort of pressure? I don't know, family, friends have gone to university?
No pressure at all. I always wanted to get a degree. So the route that I went, having done a level 3, then a level 4, the level 4 was equivalent to first year. So starting from second year, to do second year and third year in university was always the plan. To be fair, I thought I was going to do a top-up degree as opposed to starting from second year, but I needed it. But no pressure at all from the family. In fact, if anything, just supported and encouraged to go down that route, because it's not a conventional route.
So you pretty much had a plan from the outset.
Yes.
You were quite direct, and you chose quite specifically what you want to do, because I want to do X, Y, Z job, you know what I mean? Whereas I think my situation maybe differs. There was that outside pressure to go to university. I come from that South Asian sort of Punjabi background. So, parents can be quite... No.
Whoa. Rewind. We need to unpack that a bit more. So when you say pressure from family, you delve into that more.
I mean, we're first and second generation in this country, and our immigrant parents have always focused on getting an education because that's something that somebody can't take away from you.
Correct.
I think that's from both perspectives.
Correct.
But the difficulty becomes, in today's modern world, like you said, you don't need to do a degree. But our parents are still of that sort of thinking and mindset that a degree is the only way. You either become a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, and an accountant, and there's no other successful jobs in the world. Like, people know that you can make money in tech, but if you were to explain to an auntie sitting on a bus stop what is cybersecurity, they'll look at you blankly.
Yeah, whereas if their head.
Exactly. Whereas if you were to ask them what's a doctor or what's a dentist, they'll tell you their whole life story. You know what I mean?
So true.
So yeah, that's the sort of background. When I say the pressure, is that initially, back when I first did work experience, I wanted to be a dentist. So I guess biomed maybe came out of that, because a lot of people choose biomedical science and then postgraduate they do either medicine or dentistry. So that pressure is it's not like active pressure. It's not like obviously they're forcing you, like they're not doing your UCAS application for you, but it's that sort of thing that, you should be going to university because that's the successful path, and that's the sort of traditional path. Yeah,
it's true. Well, yeah, agreed. And you know what? I'm glad you're sharing that, because I'm sure there's many people that have been in your situation, currently feel like that, and are yet to feel like that. So it's good you're speaking on it. Cash, I'm going to give you a joke here. Yes, Cash. So I'm going to tell the viewers this. I've already told you this story, but we're talking about when parents influence students' decision to go to university, but we need to add grandparents into that. And I'm going to add my grandmother, which is my mum's mum. So my grandmother said to my mum, "Why is Kwame going to university when he's a security guard. And I'm like, it's no way like that. It has nothing to do with being a security guard, thinking I'm a bouncer. I'm a cybersecurity consultant. So it all plays a part, and the influence that people have on you. So one anecdote that I'll give with what you said earlier on, my dad has always stressed the importance of this, and even my grandpa. Money comes and goes.
Yeah.
Your degree, no one can take that knowledge away from you. So that is the most valuable asset that you can have.
Yeah.
But I still agree with what they've said, but I think now times have changed in the sense of there's other routes. So that can be your apprenticeship. Because at the end of the day, it's a certificate. No one can take that away from you. But the point I'm making, knowledge is power. Knowledge is very powerful.
That's quite an important, and the fact that registered with you when you were young is quite amazing, because for me it was like I'd heard that, I'd got that advice, but it was very much in one ear out the other ear. I think maybe I was a bit too cocky and a bit too sort of driven on like I'll be successful, whatever it is. I didn't need a plan. Like my mom always used to ask me, it was like, oh, what do you want to do, etc., etc. How are you going to make money? Because that is the end. That's the goal. The success is how many pounds or how many dollars have you got in your bank account for a lot of people, or it might not be for other people. It might be the freedom that you have. But I said to my mom, I don't know how I'm going to make money, but I know I'll be successful. And I can imagine now, in hindsight, I'm not a father yet, but that would be quite scary to hear.
100%.
Because it's almost like you don't have a plan.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Plan to fail, exactly. So, but it wasn't that I don't disrespect like that you just said that you can't take away a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was that, if I'm thinking back to my sort of, even going back to like 11, 12-year-old self, is that when you did your GCSEs, when you did your A-levels, I just thought it was a piece of paper.
I understand.
I just thought it was a tick box exercise until the next step. You do GCSEs, if you do all right, you get into A-levels. You do your A-levels, if you do all right, then you get into university, and et cetera, et cetera. How do you explain it? How do you get through to children? I understand that your dad got through to you and your grandparents got through to you that university was successful, but if you weren't of that mindset, do you think there's a different way to get it through to a kid that actually the traditional path is not always the bad path? Because we've got this sort of trend nowadays that everybody thinks they're an entrepreneur. Everybody thinks they can make money on social media, etc., etc. But the traditional path is actually a pretty decent path.
It is. I think it only works for people that truly know what they want and are doing it off of their own accord, as opposed to their influences, their parents, and any other external interference that's not themselves. I think that's where people fall short in trying to secure an opportunity in their chosen field. So I guess that asks the question: should a person go to uni if they don't know what they want to do?
This is a question I saw in our DMs quite a bit.
Yeah, from
a multitude of different people. Was that that question? Should I go to university if I don't know what I want to do? It's situational, isn't it? You can't answer this with just one straight answer. It's not a yes or no question. Because it's like we said, let's go back to the vocational courses. So dentistry, medicine. If you want to become a doctor or a dentist, you have to go to university. You got to get that degree. It's pretty simple.
Correct.
Pretty black and white. Whereas if you're in the tech field, if you're a consultant, if you're a cybersecurity engineer, you don't necessarily need to go to university. There are certifications out there, or boot camps even, that we've heard of, or apprenticeships that you can be just as successful and get those jobs post that sort of uni period. But if you completely don't know what you want to do, I would say maybe don't go to university, maybe take a year out and reassess. But that year out has got to be adding value to your life. It can't just be a year out dossing around, to be honest.
No,
because I think that's what a lot of people get messed up with, is that they think, oh, this gap year of traveling is amazing, like learning about different cultures. But in that sort of those first sort of, because those years from about 16 to 21, I'd say, are quite fundamental. They lay the foundations to the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That's not that's not necessarily saying that every decision you make is going to be a good one that is setting the future.
Mm-hmm.
But it's saying that, oh, you tried something, you failed. You tried something, you failed. You tried, and then you land on something.
Yeah.
And you're not necessarily, I'm not putting a time period that you got to land on it during that period, because people become millionaires, billionaires at like 40, 50, 60 years old. They don't land on that idea until they're way older. But it's just about, you've got to keep on, you can't get stuck in the mud.
Yeah, agreed. And you know what? I think this is going to sound so ironic. So I can answer this question from my own viewpoint, but I think, so to answer the question point blankly, I'm going to say, I don't think you should go to uni. I think you should do as many things as you can so you learn what you do and what you don't like. And that will ultimately help you make the right decisions and choices as to what you want to do. Because I don't know, personally, I'm very intentional. So if I don't believe in what I'm doing, or I don't care for it as much, I probably won't do as well. And I think it takes having to work or doing jobs you don't want to do, or obviously starting at entry level, you have to do certain jobs to get to where you want to get to. So if you can't handle that or you don't like it, then I guess that kind of lets you know whether this is for you or not. Because in any sort of job, there's things that you're going to have to do in the role that you don't like. It's just about understanding whether you can accept it, can you tolerate it, can you get through. Like you've said in previous episodes, there's peaks and troughs in what you want to do. So I think, really I can't stress this enough, do as much things as possible, especially whilst you're young, because whilst you're young, you've got the opportunity to find out what sticks and what doesn't stick. You've got less responsibilities naturally, financially and emotionally, all these things that people go through in life. Now is the time. It's
like living with no inhibitions, isn't it? Almost.
Literally.
Obviously, there's rules and stuff in society, but your dreams have got to have no inhibitions.
100%.
Like you said, you've got to shoot at that target, and maybe you miss. You shoot another one, you miss again. But it's about carry on jumping over hurdles, and you're going to carry on falling down. You're going to carry on falling down, and I think it's also that academics can't be your life up until then, because I think that's another reason that people are just like, oh, well, I've been studying for this amount of time, I'll just go to university and study for another 3 years, even if I don't know what I want to do.
No bueno.
You know what I mean? So
not good. It's not helpful to anybody. It's not even helpful to yourself.
Exactly.
You need to know why you're doing what you're doing.
But it's that ease, isn't it?
Yes.
People sort of almost don't think about it. They're just like, oh, it's natural.
No, we don't. We can't do this sheep mentality following people. It's not it.
Yeah. Because I think
lock in.
You have got to lock in, because that's when we sort of stray into what we also wanted to talk about, is that people sort of start and this is going to ruffle some feathers, but there are such things as useless degrees, and there's other ones that are pretty useful degrees, like we mentioned.
Go on, Cash, call it out. What are the useless degrees?
There's loads of degrees.
We want to know.
I'd say personally, I know this is a lot of people study this, is that business.
Okay.
Do you think you can learn business from a professor? Business is even offered as a GCSE and an A level.
Correct.
People are studying business of people that don't have businesses,
or people that have never had businesses.
You know what I mean?
Stop.
So business, I don't think, not everybody's an entrepreneur. Okay. I think people have got to understand that some people are just good employees, and that's not taking a shot at anybody. It's not taking a dig at anybody. Mm-hmm. Even I have this same question. I've got so many business ideas, but I'm like, fuck it. Do I actually want to go through with that? Because it's so draining, and Whereas I could just do my 9 to 5, obviously put a little bit extra hard work and get my certifications and move up the ladder. But
between your 5 to 9.
exactly, you know what I mean? But useless degrees, business. Why is there so many people wasting? And you're only going to get in debt. And then you're going to be struggling for a graduate role.
Yeah, agreed, because it's not niche enough. Well, you know what? I'm going to agree. That's number one. That's a useless degree. Sorry, not sorry. Take it as it is. I'm going to say the second one has to be a history degree. Like, with all due respect, correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. Hold your boy accountable, yeah? What are you going to do with a history degree? How does that help you in today's society and the digital landscape that we're in? How does it help? Unless it's like, I don't know, maybe architecture, I could understand that there's a historical importance. But if you're learning about, well, you know what? I don't know what they teach at university level, but if you're learning about King Henry VIII, tell me how it's going to help you today. I don't understand it.
You know, a lot of people that do history normally end up being politicians. And I don't think anybody wants to get into that career path with the situation as it is worldwide. You don't want to do history just to become a politician. No,
it's dead, man. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Hey, I'm not even going to speak on politics, but it's a good point. It's a good point you made. So go on. What are you giving number 3?
Oh, another degree that's useless. Oh, this is another one. Maybe like sports science.
Okay, speak on it.
Because I know a lot of people that have done sports science, and I used to play a lot of football, so a lot of my peers have going down the sports science route.
Okay.
Just to become PTs. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you can, just like you can become a cybersecurity engineer without going to university, you can become a PT without doing sports science. I'm aware there's other people that have gone into like physiotherapy, this, that, and the other, but just the general sports science is like, I read that as you just gone to uni for a DOS, to be honest.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think, you know what, that specific field, even trying to get a job, is so saturated. And I'm just going to keep it a buck.
Yeah.
The pay is dead when you start. So you really have to love what you do to even want to consider a career in there.
So I think we have come to a mutual agreement there are definitely degrees that are useless.
Yeah.
And that should be maybe scraped off the calendar. And because we're not even just saying it being cocky or saying looking down on degrees, it's looking out for your own selves. It's like, do you, in this day and age in the UK especially, the student debt that you're going to get into for studying those degrees,
it's not worth it.
You know what I mean? It is not worth it.
And I'm sure you've seen this as well. They've said that now people that go to uni as of 2025 September, their student loan, they're liable to pay that back up to 40 years until it's written off.
Jesus, it's just become an extra tax.
Yeah.
So you got to think about, like, we both went to university, so we've got student fees and student debts to pay off. But
correct.
We've chosen a career that would hopefully help us pay that off.
Yes, and as you're on that point, what are the degrees that are worth doing? What's useful? What's a useful degree?
I mean, we've already discussed medicine and dentistry. I think they're very, very much useful degrees, and you can't learn that through a boot camp. Or at least I don't want to go to no doctor surgery. My doctor's just learned how to become a doctor off it.
You know what? Not a boot camp, but I've seen I think they've just trialed a degree apprenticeship.
Really?
Yeah, wow. For becoming a doctor. But I think it is about 7 years.
Okay, yeah, that's a long period of time.
So would you trust that doctor that's come through an apprenticeship, or would you trust somebody more that's come through the traditional route, i.e. university?
I don't trust doctors full stop.
I hear it. They really be reading from a textbook.
Exactly,
I'll be real.
By the time they've learned all their, whatever they're learning about, all the sciences, and learn about the body's anatomy in 5 years' time, with technology now especially, the medicines have evolved so much, and they've already they've almost like learnt the old generation.
It's true. It's true. Well, you know what? we're gonna touch on it very quickly, but don't you feel like now the advancement of technology and how readily available information is, you could diagnose yourself?
Oh, do we really want to make that statement? Is Kwame making that statement that AI is going to take a doctor's job?
I said it with chest. Talk to me nice.
Nah, that's insane. I cannot walk into a doctor's surgery and just be faced with like a robot or something like that. Or even worse, just be sitting at home and just calling up and just getting an AI sort of bot on the other side. No, that would be crazy. Nah,
but
we're not trying to put doctors out of job.
No. We love doctors. Yeah. We need them.
To be fair, they need to get paid their money because those guys they be protesting all the time.
I know, man. Save the NHS.
Yeah, for real.
Green flag for that.
But the last thing on that,
go on,
doctor and sort of dentistry and all those sort of careers is that I think that they focus on the wrong thing during the application process.
Go on.
They say, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that you need to do, I think it's biology, chemistry, maths or something, an iteration of those three.
Okay.
And you need to get etc. A star, and then do like there's a separate exam called the UCAT, I think it's called, or maybe BMAT or something like that. And they're just looking at academics. I know they do an interview for those degrees and courses, but being able to speak to someone in those roles is very, very important. I've had a personal experience that I was meant to go for some dental work, and because my dentist literally could not speak to me, just looking at his laptop, and when they sort of note down where your teeth are in your mouth and this, that, and the other, and he couldn't communicate. Like when I was asking him, why do I need to do this, or do I really need to do this, and what are the pros and what are the cons?
What was he mute?
He was just like burbling along, just like mumbling along.
So who, himself?
He was trying to talk to me. I know he was trying to talk to me because he was making eye contact with me, but he just wasn't saying niche. So that's the only thing I would say about those degrees, is that I think they've sort of frozen out a bunch of people that would be amazing doctors and dentists just because, they don't have AAA stars.
Yeah.
I think if you want people to be clever and they need to be switched on in those careers, but they also need to be sort of good people and good communicators. And I think that's very, very valid for those vocational courses.
No, 100%.
But that's all I'm saying on that matter. We love our doctors. We love our dentists.
Yeah, big up you guys. Yeah, cool. So obviously, got a big up our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cybersecurity. I said it. That is a degree you want to do, and how can I encourage it? It's to me, cybersecurity is protecting or guardianship of a network, and you can do that reactively and it's either a reactive approach or it can be like I'm forgetting the word.
Proactive
yeah,
approach. You can have controls to stop attacks.
Exactly.
Or you can react to an attack.
So my point with that is the landscape is always evolving. It's always ever evolving. So therefore it makes it fun because there's always new things to learn. This is a degree where you actually need to be a lifelong learner. And I think, I don't know, for me, I like change. So hence it's befitting for me to do a degree, or having done a degree in cybersecurity. So yeah, it's a green flag. And because there's further threats and we're moving more into the cyber world, there's a huge influx. Therefore, it needs the professionals. Therefore, the cyber role does change, but it's growing with the times.
Exactly. It's there is that, and we'll have this topic definitely in a further episode talking about AI in specifics. But AI sort of, I don't think it's scared anybody in cybersecurity off yet, because it's just added what we would call as an attack vector. Basically another sort of, how would you describe that to the average Joe? What an attack vector is? Probably just like another path to get another vulnerability, another option for an attacker to attack you on, basically.
Yeah, correct. And obviously we're talking in the context of a corporation. Yeah, that's you've defined it. You've defined it beautifully.
Yeah. So the reason I bring up AI is that in the cybersecurity field, where we can talk about this, is that we're not looking at AI and saying, "Ah, crap, we need to." Obviously, we need to upskill and learn about AI, but we're learning about it because we're going to be the ones protecting people from the vulnerabilities and the sort of attackers trying to sort of almost jump upon our weaknesses.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good career, and the reason I can say why I chose it was that when I knew I was making that switch from biomedical science to something like cybersecurity, which is a big jump.
It is.
There's not very much
correlation.
No
there.
correlation. But it's one of those careers. Cybersecurity has more demand than it has supply. So let that sink in. So cybersecurity, the amount of people that are coming out of universities or coming out with these certifications is still way less than roles that we need to fill.
Agreed. Well, the job market doesn't suggest that, but well, in the UK particularly, but it is nevertheless very true.
The job market is because these companies, they want to save money. That's one side of it. They think that they'd rather sort of load 10 people's work onto one person rather than paying 10 people to do the work.
It's true.
But yeah, cybersecurity is definitely a good career because there's huge scope for growth. Even stuff that we can't see now, that we can't talk on, because there's going to be other sort of technological advances and just general sort of changes in society that cybersecurity personnel and professionals need to be privy to, and we need to try be on the front foot and sort of help society.
100%. Cybersecurity is here to stay.
It's quite a fulfilling role.
It definitely is.
Because like you talked about, is that like, I know we talked about being a bouncer as a joke earlier, but yeah, you're like a bouncer outside of a club trying to stop people from getting hurt or the wrong person from getting in, you know what I mean?
It's a good analogy. Yeah, it's true. It's just digital.
We're a digital bouncer.
Yeah.
So grandma wasn't wrong.
Yeah, don't worry. She won't get the corn for that.
But when we say it's a good career, is that because I think the listeners can tell that we're both quite passionate about cybersecurity, so that I know that's why we chose it. But we also did choose it because there is value in terms of compensation, in terms of salaries. It's a good field to be in. You can definitely be a successful person with a career in cybersecurity.
Yeah, you can be in that 40% tax bracket, that's for sure.
So let's be honest now. What matters to you more? Is it money or is it passion?
Passion. I'm led by passion. I can only do things I have a passion for. I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, I would have said money, but with hindsight and just growth, it has to be purely purpose driven. Otherwise, I can't do it. Yeah. What about you?
No, I think it's quite important. You just said the word purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be motivated one day to do cybersecurity and then just sort of willy-nilly just sort of scrape along and be successful in the career. Like you said, you're ever learning.
Correct.
The landscape's ever changing, so you've got to evolve with it. But yeah, the purpose for me, that means that it's not just a motivation. Initially, it's the discipline.
Has to be.
And that discipline is maybe what's not seen in the modern day world. Everybody wants to get a rich quick scheme. Cybersecurity ain't that, is it?
Sorry, man. Look, for example, the young TikTokers or Roblox users, there's only so long that can run. You need stability. Yeah,
no, facts. And like we're saying, there is very much those roles that are plus six figures. Obviously, we're in the UK, so we don't get paid our money as much as we should do.
Not yet.
But hopefully
soon.
Hopefully, we're trending in a direction. Whether it's the right direction, we will see.
Upwards trajectory only, man.
But we don't get paid the figures that you guys in the US do get paid. But it's definitely a fulfilling role from that perspective. It's helpful. You definitely can build a life and livelihood off the salary of a cybersecurity professional.
Very true.
But yeah, for me, passion, money, it's a bit of a that is a bit of a techie one for me, because I'm passionate about cybersecurity, but I very, very much do want to get to that bag.
No, I hear it, but look, I agree with you. But what I'm gonna add, and this is important, so really take this in, guys. If you're doing the right actions, money is a derivative of positive actions. So if you're chasing your passion, money will come, money will follow. You don't need to do anything, it's just gonna come. But if you're just led by money, yeah, it's not that, it's short-lived.
Yeah, we're not saying money is a bad intention, but it shouldn't be your sole driver, should it?
Yeah, that's the key. That's like, the key point.
We say just working, I think, at yourself, on yourself and on your career, that's the good intention. And like you said, money, those things are going to come and go. You can't really control it, but just try to be better and learn more. I think it's so 100%. Valuable. And maybe you can speak on this, Kwame, because you've done different forms of academics. You've been in a normal sort of school, and then you've done apprenticeships, and you've done a degree. Is that I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's like the passion for cybersecurity.
Go for it. What are you trying to ascertain?
Is that how can you get people through those sort of dark days when they can't see no light at the end of the tunnel?
You have to remember why you started it in the first place. I think that's what's got me through. Got me to where I am currently and the previous successes. So yeah, remembering why you're doing it and not giving up. You have to. No one's gonna sing your praises louder than yourself. I said this in a previous episode. So once you know yourself and you got that self-awareness and you know why you're doing it and you're intentional with it, success is literally around the corner. I say that very loosely because around the corner might take years to get to, but it's definitely within your reach.
Yeah. I think you just got to take small steps, isn't it, towards the main goal?
100%. Just brick by brick by brick. What is the 1% you're doing for the day towards that purpose? Once you're doing that, I'm sure you're going to make it. I'm not claiming to be the best person in cybersecurity, but the point is I got here because I was doing what I've just said to you. Yeah,
and like you just said, that's quite a good point, and it transfers over into our next topic, is that you're not the cybersecurity guru. You're not the cybersecurity god, are you? You're still
no. I want to be a cybersecurity geek. You know what? Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm not. I'm trying to get there.
But what skills actually matter? What skills have helped you up to this point, and are going to help you carry you forward? And what can we say to the community out there? What should students be focusing on, maybe outside of university?
Yeah, so I think it's my soft skills that's allowed me to advance more, because it's all well and good being able to do your role, which I can do. Figuratively, sometimes I can do with my eyes closed. Just saying, I've been doing it. I've been doing this for a while, a little while anyway. But I think it just takes for the person to just lock in. You have to lock in. But it's the soft skills that's going to make you stand out, because at the end of the day, again, I've said the statistic, guys. You guys are going to have to keep account on things I've said before. I said each year there's millions of graduates graduating. Now you need to separate that to how many people are doing your degree. So you've all got the same piece of paper. But what's going to make you stand out from that person to yourself? What differentiates you? And I'm sorry, the only way that it's going to do that is by your personality and who you are and what you bring, aside from what is considered a prerequisite.
Yeah, and I think that's why here at It's Techie we sort of value that so much. Like you said, it's how do you stand out from the crowd?
Correct.
And you can only stand out from the crowd from being yourself.
Correct.
There are those people that try to kiss ass, shall we say? There's
man.
There's people in
Glazers, all of that.
Proper corporate glazers, but that you're gonna get found out.
100%.
The skill that matters is being yourself and trying to improve yourself.
Exactly.
And let your personality shine through.
Exactly.
Why is everyone trying to be a robot in corporate? Like, be your own damn self.
It's true. It's true. Because let's be real. Gone are the days now when someone's being employed specifically for a technical role. They're not looking for your traditional geek no more.
Nope.
Your tech boys can be fly. Like us.
Yeah.
So you can still, you don't have to be a traditional geek. I think times have changed. It's about now that guy Cash there. Do I want to work with Cash? Can I work alongside him? Can we have a good working relationship? That's more important than your degree, because the geek has the same degree as well. So it's people buying into people. So I think skills that revolve around that really need to be developed and fine-tuned. And that's what's going to help you be successful. I think that's, again, another statistic. Said this again, 1% of graduates actually get a graduate position. So all those 99% of people, they're losing out. I think for me, why I was successful is because I already had working experience in corporate, and I'm quite self-aware, so I'm self-assured. So I think when you add all of these together, I'm going to stand out compared to people that are a little bit younger than me, or people that don't have certain things on lock, or real world experience. Like I said, I had already worked, so it wasn't going to be loosely again, wasn't going to be as hard for me to succeed. That's not to say I didn't struggle though.
Yeah, and let's put the It's Techie family onto game.
Go on.
How can we build those skills? I'd say, yes, there are internships and spring weeks, and those are all good stuff. I'm not slandering them. It's work experience. Like you just said, you mentioned that you had that work experience.
Correct.
That's why you stood out.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing them for the sake of doing them, then you ain't going to be able to talk about it properly.
100%.
And so, say you did an internship at a big consultancy firm, but you were there very much just passive, not involved in any tasks, or not involved in any group activities. Then when it comes down 2-3 years later to your graduate scheme interview, what are you going to talk about?
100%, because let's be real, you're probably making coffee.
Exactly.
For the week or days you were there.
And that's all you're going to be able to talk about. You're not going to be able to talk about all the... They don't need to be... You don't need to see conversations as networking. It's just about making actual genuine connections, actual organic connections. And that doesn't need to be just through a spring week or internship. That could be working at Tesco's and knowing how to talk to different customers, or how to talk to managers. Because what do we call that in corporate? Stakeholder management.
Exactly.
So like this is what we're trying to get at, is that it might not be the intention. So if that example that I just brought up, if you're working at Tesco's, you're a customer assistant, or you're on the shop floor, you're speaking to customers that come in, they're asking you, oh, where's the bread, where are the eggs, this, that, and the other. That's all. Knowing how to communicate. Firstly, you've got to have the knowledge of the area that you're in. So
of course,
in that circumstance, it's Tesco's. You need to have the knowledge of the store where things are.
Yeah.
But if you go, yeah, it's over there. What's the customer going to do? You go, if you have to, so, we're in aisle 12 over here. You go straight left, and in 5 hours time, it's there. You know what I mean? So being clear and thought out, and then down further in that line, that's what you can talk about in your CV. That's communication.
Correct.
It's not. Communication doesn't only happen in corporate environments. It happens on day-to-day life. I think this is why we forget, is that this new generational as society is, and this is a deeper topic that we'll go into on a different episode if people want to, is that people don't help each other out and people don't conversate as they used to.
Definitely not.
Simplest thing is like People don't say hi to people when they walk past each other on the street.
I'll be honest, I feel like it's more of a London thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm making it somewhat national. It's a London thing. There's just so much things going on that people don't take the time to stop and say hello. Whereas, I don't know, I feel like maybe outside of London you'd get that more. But I will admit it is dying. It's not a commonly practiced thing per se.
Yeah. And I think that's very much important. So focus on those soft skills that we talked about, the communications, the teamwork, the traditional ones, but sort of think of how you can pull those soft skills out of untraditional circumstances. Like
It's true.
communication can be in your football team, or teamwork can obviously be in your football team, or it can be helping your dad out, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
It's all transferable, and it's gonna bode well and help you, and it's gonna make you stand out and make you that 1%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really be adept to what's going around, soak it in. There's use for it. But on that point, do you think employers care about the university name?
Less so nowadays.
Okay.
Because certain universities will have an amazing course, and maybe the rest of the university ain't that good because they've got an amazing professor or this, that, and the other in that specific course. But like, I was actually going to bring this up earlier, but when you were talking about history as a useless degree, but what if you studied history at the University of Oxford or Cambridge?
No. Let's speak on it. It does not matter.
No?
Nope. You know what? I think people are still wowed by the Oxford and the Cambridge. And by the way, I'm not taking credit away from it. If you've attended there, hats off to you. It's very impressive. But be honest with you, there are people that have gone to Oxford that still don't have jobs. Like I said to you, there's 1 million graduates a year. There's 17,000 positions. There are people with Oxford qualifications that are not in industry. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree that it's universities. I think the Oxford and Cambridge is a bit of a sticky situation because they're sort of such old institutions with so much history of they're part of the English or the British fabric, aren't they?
It's true. Even the profiles of people that are their alumni and what they've gone on to do.
But I think in modern day society, we'd say that you can be successful in wherever you're from, and that's case in point. We come from immigrant families. Our families have moved to the UK to help us be successful, but we know so many skilled personnel because the people that we work with are all around the world. There's so many skilled personnel in India, the Philippines. I'm missing out on countries that I can't come to mind right now, but what we'd consider offshore sort of cheap resources, but these are highly, highly technical, highly, highly skilled people.
It's true.
But just because they're from those places doesn't mean they're not capable of doing a job. So I'd say the same thing is with university.
Yeah.
If you went to Oxford and did history, and you went to, I don't know, UCL and did history, UCL's still a good university, but I wouldn't treat the person different. I think that's what we've got to focus on, is the people that are hiring these people, making sure that you don't pander just to these high institutions. No,
I think, you know what, if you go there, it can make a difference, but playing devil's advocate, it can be a hindrance. And I explain it because it's not spoken about enough. Say, let's put it into perspective. If you had a hiring manager that went to, let's just say, Southbank University, and they're the cybersecurity manager, and they're looking to employ a student or an alumni from Oxford, I'll be honest, I don't think they'll employ them. And I explain why that is, because I feel sometimes people are threatened by people. And if somebody comes in with an Oxford education, and they're reporting to somebody that's come from South Bank University. No dig on South Bank University and what they're capable of, but people are intimidated by that. And that could be the reason why you may not have found yourself a graduate position. People are threatened by it. So I don't think the uni name is actually that important, but I think it plays a part. But I don't necessarily think, like I said, it's going to be make or break. It depends on the person reviewing it. It depends what you've studied. There's so many variables that determine whether it's important or not. In my opinion, don't think it is, but that's neither here or there.
No, I think that's very valuable. And just before we wrap up, let's go into some quick fire questions. So I want a one-word response to these, Kwame, or I'll give you a sentence. You can say a sentence on them, but it's got to be very quick.
Talk
and
your
you're
talk.
the one that can answer these properly because you have experience. So let's go. Degree or apprenticeship?
Apprenticeship.
Russell Group or does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Student halls or commute?
Student hall for vibes.
Loans are worth it or not?
If you know what you're doing, yes.
And a graduate scheme or a startup?
Different show for different folks, but I'm going to say... you got me there, man. I'm going to say... startup.
Startup?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Now, you know, obviously, you've done it to me. Got to do to you. Degree or apprenticeship?
I'm going to go off the cuff here. I'm going to say a degree apprenticeship.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Russell Group or does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Student halls or commute?
Commute, save your money.
I hear it. Are loans worth it? Yes or no?
Yep, because it helps entry to universities, but please bring down those interest rates, please.
Graduate scheme or startup?
Grad scheme.
Okay.
Okay, we had different answers on the grad scheme and the startup. Why did you choose startup?
You know what? I think it depends on the age. I feel like if you're driven and you really go for it and you start a startup, there's just so many things that you learn that I don't think a graduate position can teach you.
But personally, I'd say go to a grad scheme, go to a large organisation, and then go into the startup. Learn those skills, how a big organisation, big enterprise is doing things, and then go to a startup and sort of maybe use the lessons that you've learned.
I don't think it needs to be like that, because there are people that run large organizations that have never been, don't quote me on it and who's done it, but there's people that have started their own corporations and they've never worked in a highly corporate gig or done a graduate scheme. So I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
I'd say.
Okay, we're ending the episode on a bit of a disagreement then. Are you team Cash and saying that you should do a graduate scheme first, or are you team Kwame and saying you go straight for your dreams and go set up that startup? Let us know in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to be back for more next week, and stay locked in on the socials, and peace out.
You know the usual: like, comment, subscribe, share for a friend, share to the dog, whatever. We're here for it.
Thank you very much.